Look at this shit. My window just broke. I came up in my attic. A fucking raccoon just broke my window out. I can't believe this shit. Look, he won't even fucking leave. I literally thought someone broke out my window. I'm running around the fucking yard with my fucking pistol. And it's a fucking raccoon. I cannot... I can't even get this window fixed. This is... So this happened like the first month I moved in, and I had to go out of town for the weekend, but I was coming home at night. So I had to kind of fix up a patch job like really quick. So I found this like heavy cardboard material from an old bookshelf that I like measured up and cut up. I put this plastic over it to keep like a layer of like water from coming out. So I put the plastic up first, and then I put the piece of board over it, and it worked pretty good. It stayed up there for a year. It's been almost exactly a year now before anything happened. So it was just like a quick, cheap patch job that I've been doing on everything on this house. So this is like 2 months after I moved in. I didn't know when I bought the house. I actually bought a squirrel with the house that had been living in the attic for God only knows how long. But you could see he kind of crawls through those fascia boards and then gets out. And here's a little asshole again doing a little fucking dance that really irritated me. I put security cameras in my attic because I was trying to figure out how he was moving around and stuff. And I put a cage up there and bait and everything, and he wouldn't take any of it. Squirrels are really smart and very hard to get rid of sometimes. They get used to these places. And this is after I sealed the window here a couple months later in the winter. You can see he was so used to coming inside the house that he just kept coming back to the same spot. What I've learned with squirrels and birds is the best way to get rid of them is just seal up as many holes as you can in your house, and eventually when they can't get in the fucking 30th or 40th time or the third month later, that they'll eventually find a different house. So they kind of leave your house and then go to another house that's fucked up, and then there's somebody else's problem. But I remember during the winter, he kept trying to come in a lot. Now, this is about a year later, and this is when I noticed that the window had been kind of chewed on. I just happened to notice him on the security camera here on the side roof. And it's pretty interesting, like, what he tries to do here. He tries to do a few different things. So there's only one way kind of up onto this roof now, and it's from the one tree because I cut the other trees down. So right now he's kind of stuck on the roof and doesn't know what to do now that he's up here. Trying to look for a way down. Sometimes he'll try to the pine tree, but that's pretty risky for him. Right now he's just kind of climbing around looking for a place to go. And here he's climbing on my windows, my bedroom window in this spot here. And this is pretty interesting too because he wants to walk across the wire, but this is a telephone line wire. and it's just too slim and small. And then right here for a second, he's about to jump on the skeleton, but he decides not to. People seem to get a laugh out of the squirrel epidemic I have, so I figured I would include this in the video. But ultimately he goes to the end here, the edge, which is my porch is way down there in the corner. And in a second you'll see him jump from the roof to the tree, and that's usually how he gets up or down on the house. So now this video is almost exactly a year later. It's kind of hard to tell in the picture, or I mean the video, but the plastic has been chewed. On the inside I could see the plastic has been chewed all the way around, and on the bottom of this wood piece that I put in, wood cardboard that I put in, there's actually a hole in it now. And this is about exactly a year from when it broke and I fixed it last time. So I had been keeping an eye on it, the past year over the winter and everything. My biggest thing last year was just to get it covered up to keep, rain and snow out of it. But this was a few days ago I noticed this problem and I had to fix it. And here's the hole that I seen. And I believe that's the squirrel from last year that keeps trying to get in. A raccoon broke the window, but I had squirrel problems where a squirrel was living in my attic. For when I moved in, he was already up there. I didn't know that until I actually moved in. So what I'm doing to temporarily fix this window, so you can see this plate of glass is gone. An animal knocked it out. I had this board here for a year, but an animal chewed through it recently. I'm going to pull this trim off. I'm caulking the edges here. This is just a temporary solution. I have this acrylic glass here, or acrylic plastic, I mean. So I actually have a full one that I'm going to put on the outside, and then these were the spare from the other. And I cut them into a triangle, so one's going to go from here over, and it'll cover this hole, here over, it'll cover this glass just in case anything happens to it. And then when I get more time and I feel better, I'm going to go on the roof on the outside and put a plate of glass, or acrylic plastic, on the outside. That's like a patch job until I can get somebody to fix this window, because we're very, very high up in the air, and nobody wants to make a window like this and then put it in. So we tore this wood trim here off the bottom. There's a bunch of gunk underneath it, so ran back outside. Got a scraper, scrape this, gonna clean it all, and then we'll have a nice clean seal to work with, hopefully. This sucks. So we got 2 pieces in. Move a little bit. Can't even tell that they're acrylic. Take this mask off. So we put a strip of caulk, clear caulk in the middle, all the way down, and then I try to do all the borders all the way up and around, and then I put a bunch of screws in the acrylic to try to get it as tight as possible to the frame. to try to keep this sealed as much as possible. So it cracked the acrylic a little bit in a couple spots, like right here for example. So I put in more screws than I originally intended, but it's pretty sealed now. So fortunately the bottom of that piece of wood was rotted and broke when the corner piece of glass got broke out from the racoon. But it's as much as it's going to get sealed. It's a lot better than this piece of board that I had on there for the past year. So you can see we kind of got like, I don't know if you can see on this phone, got like light coming in over here, and that's because the soffits and the fascia boards are all chewed up and rotten. So I have those patched right now, but I plan to kind of try to redo them as much as possible. So here's another hole right there. So what's happening is like squirrels and stuff keep getting in here. So that's pretty much it for now. To try to clean up this mess. And this is the attic of the Victorian house. And you see the other window over here is more of a half oval shape. That one's kind of in not bad condition, but not great condition either. And then they have a second furnace in the attic for central air upstairs. But yeah, it is really hot up here. It's probably like 90 degrees. And I'm running out of memory, so that's that. So I notice underneath the window, under the ledge, oh, I got this mask on. See light coming in underneath the ledge there. So I'm gonna lay down in this fucking insulation and try to caulk that. I don't think any water is getting in, but you know, just in case. While I'm up here sweating my ass off, I might as well. So I don't know when the next day I'll have a good day. So here's the finished product of the second patch job. And it went out it came out pretty good. So these two triangles are pieces that I had from a big square sheet, a big square piece of acrylic that I got from a friend that works at a plastic company. And here in this picture here, that's the old piece that I tore off that's been chewed up. But the reason why the one on the inside is two halves is because those are the corners that I cut off of the other piece. And you'll see what I'm trying to say in a second here. Because you might be thinking, why did I use two pieces? Why didn't I just cut it into a full triangle? Well, they're just the two edges left from the square piece. So you'll see in a second. But this is what the outside looks like, piece, and on the inside. So here's the full triangle piece that I'm going to put on the outside. So originally that's the only piece that I was going to put on. And here's the thickness of it. Originally this is the only piece I was going to put on, but right now I can't get to the top outside part. So this picture is from about a year ago when I first moved in, and that tree's been cut down since, and all that fascia board has been patched. So this is me doing the final patch job on the window. I'm painting the frame and scraping all the paint off of it. It was really, really bad. Kind of losing my voice here. So this took like 5 or 6 hours. It was pretty tall up there. I don't have too many pictures and videos of this. I wanted to get it done as fast as possible, but you can see how kind of dry rotted this is, and they haven't painted it in a long time. This is the fascia board, like right underneath it. I had to put these patches on it because underneath them is all holes. So that's where animals were getting in. They were crawling in that, and they would crawl underneath and then go inside my attic. So there was 2 holes missed that I ended up patching. And this is what the frame looked like after I put a coat of paint on it before putting on that last piece of acrylic glass. And I think this is the final outcome picture. It's kind of small on my screen. So this is after it's painted, and then I drilled the acrylic on the outside. So now it's like double plated acrylic. And here it's had kind of had like a moisture issue from the humidity. So it fogged up a little bit. So here's the last video. I went out and did a video real quick with the 4K camera. So you can kind of see up close those little screws there. That's where I drilled the acrylic glass in. When you look at it close up like this, it kind of looks like shit. I was going to scrape the paint there and even out the lines, but when you look at it from the ground, you can't tell. So I decided just to skip it.